Gearbor presents the top 5 best smart plugs. Let's get started with a list. Starting off our list at number 1, TP-Link Casa Mini KP105. The TP-Link Casa Mini KP105 brings you almost everything you could want from a smart plug and is accompanied by a polished app too. Setup is as simple as plugging it in, and it's small and discreet enough not to mess up the aesthetics of your kitchen or your living room. You don't get any energy monitoring here, but you can see how long the plug has been active, and it works with Alexa, Google Home, and Bixby. Dive into the app and you can have the plug turn on and off based on a regular schedule, or do it manually. There's also the option to set a simple timer. When it elapses, the plug will turn either on or off depending on your requirements. If you've got the right TP-Link accessory, you can get the KP105 smart plug to work with a motion sensor as well. Smaller size. Easy setup. Great app. At number 2, Hive Active Plug. The Hive Active Plug works in a similar way to other smart plugs. You can turn your sockets on and off with a tap on your phone or on a preset schedule. In other words, handy for those times when you need to check whether you left the iron on, or just fancy boiling the kettle for a cup of tea while you're still lying in bed upstairs. The only real catch is that requires a Hive hub to control. The Hive Active Plug won't work without one, so this is only really the best smart plug for those buying into the Hive system. But that's not a bad idea, because Hive also makes good smart bulbs and a great smart heating system, among others, so you might feel the whole setup is right for you. Part of Hive's smart home system. Easy to set up and use. Supports Alexa voice commands. At number 3, TP-Link Casa Smart Wi-Fi Power Strip KP303. There are 2 versions of TP-Link's Smart Power Strip, but the 6-socket HS300 seems to be very hard to come by at the moment, so where it is available, it can be heavily overpriced. Happily, the 3-socket KP303 is still in ample supply, with 3 smart outlets, each with independent control, as well as a pair of USB port connections for small appliance charging and power. The Casa Smart Wi-Fi Power Strip KP303 delivers plenty of flexibility and features. It's essentially 3 smart plugs in one. Voice control. 3 outlets. Energy monitoring. At number 4, Philips Hue Smart Plug. The Hue Smart Plug works fine without requiring a hub thanks to built-in Bluetooth. Which is fine, but while it's more compact than most and, as you'd expect from Philips, impeccably well engineered, we'd question why you'd spend on this if you were only going to use Bluetooth. There are stacks of Wi-Fi plugs which can do a lot more for a lot less. If you're already all in on Hue, on the other hand, we can't think of a better option. Hooking one of these up to a Hue bridge gets you Alexa, Google Assistant and HomeKit support, making it just about the most compatible plug going. You can integrate it into your Hue zones and routines. It's easy to set up, and we doubt you'll find anything more reliable. Integrates with Hue. Works with HomeKit. Very tidy design. And number 5, TCP Smart Wi-Fi Plug. Since our review, the TCP Smart Plug has had a redesign, with the enormous forehead of its previous edition being sliced off in favor of a far more compact plug, but with the same extras on board like Alexa and Google Assistant integration. Previous edition worked very reliably, so this redesign is an easy call for one of the best smart plugs around. You don't really want to get lost in a maze of settings and menus when it comes to setting up or operating your smart plug. And thankfully this one is very easy to get up and running. Plug it into a spare socket, set up the Android or iOS app, and that's just about job done. Works with Alexa and Google Assistant. Simple setup and operation. Support for schedules and timers.